Welcome, FlipoClock fans. We have a special visitor to FlipoClock Fan Studios. This is a Copal 201 in white with the silver edging. This is a special clock for a couple special reasons, even more special than I realized when I got into it. So this clock came to us from eBay, and I want to thank the seller for a great packaging job. Now, what makes this clock so special? Well, the Copal Castellan 201 appeared in print ads in 1966 and disappeared by 1973. A glowing Castellan 201 advertisement can be found in the pages of the May 13, 1967 issue of Science News, where it was introduced as a different kind of time. The late 1960s was the beginning of the space age, and often you'll see references to these clocks as excitingly unique space age clocks or computer age clocks of tomorrow. Looking at the sheer volume of the ads for the Copal 201 and other models that followed it, it's clear the 70s were the decade of the flip clock and that the Castellan 201 seems to have led the pack. So why is this one so special, and why was I looking for it? I do have a Castellan 201, a newer version, but this one's special because it appeared in the Twilight Zone. Now, the original Twilight Zone ran for 5 seasons from 1959 to 1964. There were subsequently 3 more remakes from 1985 to 1989, 2002 to 2003, and 2019 to 2020. This clock appeared in the first remake in 1988, Season 3, Episode 9, The Call. The clock belongs to the main character Norman Blaine and appears 3 times. William Sanderson is the actor here. William Sanderson may best be remembered as Larry on the Bob Newhart Show.
I'm Larry, this is my brother Daryl, that's my other brother Daryl.
So why is this clock so special? Well, first of all, it's an older version. You can see a little bit of difference here. There's 2 screws here, 1 screw here. I'm pretty sure this clock was made for Japan customers. This one is clearly imported. So I want to talk about how to get into a clock and how to be careful when you're getting into these, because there's some considerations that you have to take to avoid damage. So we have 1 screw and we have some kind of little tab here. There are 4 tabs, and I'm going to show you what I think is the best way to get into this clock. Now, a lot of times when you get a flip clock, and you'll see me do it often, first thing you see me do is pull off knobs. You do not want to start doing that on this clock, and you're going to see why really soon. Now, getting into this clock, you see here, and you think, well, I'll just stick something in there and pry it up. Whenever you see something like that, don't do that. In this case, I know I have 4 tabs from experience. You want to get something like a purple knife, maybe, to go at it, or maybe not. So let's do this. I would recommend a razor blade. You want to start here. Carefully place the razor blade in here or something similar. And then just pry like so. Now on this clock, you can go from the top or bottom on the prying, but on that one it just seemed easier for me to go from the top. All right. So you already see some differences. The cord comes out on the bottom here and it comes out in the back here. Alright, so you may see something different already. This is what we call the Copal 2 motor and gearbox. So we didn't name it the Copal 2. You can see it says Copal and Roman numeral 2. This is what we in FlipoClock fans collectors have started calling Copal 1, although they didn't designate it as the Copal 1. And you see a different configuration there. There is no gearbox. The gears are all out here like this. It's really interesting how it runs. So one of the considerations you want to look at is once you get the screws out, let's do this first. There's a screw here you have to loosen. So on the knob here, there's a flat spot on the bar there where the screw screws into. Alright, then we'll take the mechanism screws out. Now you'll have to help me decide how much cleaning I do on this clock. And it does concern me because there's some risks involved with these clocks. And unfortunately, sometimes people will make it here and find out about it after the fact. One of the things is, on these clocks, there's lettering there. And that lettering is on the back side of the glass. And it will come off if you get it wet. So it's sort of applied, it's probably applied with just water, and it will just wipe right off, and it's a tragedy. Now you'll notice this says Caslon, and this one says Copal. So Copal's the company. Caslon is the name of the clock. They call it the Copal Caslon. Caslon itself is the name of the font that they use for the digits. It's very distinctive. And here is that motor. Now you're going to see it says 100 volts. Now Japan runs on 100 volts, but they also have half the country with 50 hertz, which is what controls the speed, and half the country with 60 hertz, which is what we have in the United States. You can adjust this motor so that it's, instead of moving this gear, it's moving this gear. That would make it run at 50 hertz. So when I have clocks like this, what I've taken to do is, the question is, can you run these on 120 volts if you're in the United States? The answer is yes, but it's not a good idea. So what I do now is I get these step-down transformers, and all it's doing is taking 110 to 130 volts, like we have in the United States, about 120, depends where you're at, and drops it down to 100. So this will take it down to 100 volts. It'll remain whatever frequency you happen to be on. Now you can't use this if you get 220 volts. You have to get a different kind. These you can get on eBay, and that's what I plug these clocks into now. When I have Japanese clocks, I'm trying to make sure I don't overpower them. So we have one off camera here, and this little guy works great. And I love these old vintage clocks. We've got this varnish impregnated fiberglass tubing here. This will crack. I want to try to leave it original, so I've got to be careful if I decide to take things apart. The original Copals always have these white wire nuts that are crimped down. I don't like to change those unless I have to. I know no one else is going to see that, but I just like it original. Now, if you want to clean this, we got to, like I said, we've got to be very careful to not wipe that off. We've got to get this off of here. Now that's where you can, and you'll see sometimes online where there's some damage here, and I think that's what's happened. So when they put this into place, they just stick those tabs in there, and someone's taken a pair of pliers or something and just twisted on 6 different spots. So we would have to carefully untwist that, and I don't think I'm going to sit here and try to do this on camera. We have to try to untwist that without messing up the front part. We're going to have to untwist that, take that off so that we can get all this off, perhaps whiten the clock. It's not the right color. So that's my considerations. That's what I have to try to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to just leave it like this with the patina? But I don't think so. You can see there's some dirt in here. I really want to get this cleaned. So I've got to be real careful, and I don't want to mess up something that I've been looking for years. So that's going to be the consideration. That's going to be what I'm going to look forward to today. And you guys can maybe help me decide in the comments if should I just leave it be and not risk messing something up. Should I take these digits off and even try to whiten them? Because some of them are dingy. You can see a different color. I really don't want to get into that. So that's it. The Copal 201. This little guy I've been looking for years. It is rare. Sometimes you see on eBay it'll say rare. Well, this is rare. Check it out. If you find another one, let me know. I don't think you will. It'll be a while. So that's it. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. All right, so now's your chance to guess. Did I clean it? Did I whiten it? Let's see what you think. So yes, it was a little bit of a challenge, especially getting off the front face. This took a little bit of time, but you can see it came through just fine. The clock whitened up pretty good. It wasn't in bad shape to begin with, but now it's really pretty. Now, I did leave the bezel or the rim here loose. You really would have to get your finger on there and pry it out, but I didn't crimp it back. I feel like that doesn't make any sense. Someone may want to get in there at some point and fix that up. So there it is. A very special Twilight Zone Copal Caslon 201. Thanks for taking the time.